Did you know that the infamous pirate Blackbeard had syphilis? Yes, this notorious outlaw of the high seas was also battling a silent war within his own body. Syphilis, a disease as mysterious and feared in the 18th century as the man himself, was a constant companion to Blackbeard. The symptoms of this affliction, often debilitating, were likely a challenge for a man living a life of relentless piracy. The 18th century was a time when understanding of such diseases was limited, and treatment options were even more so. Yet Blackbeard, ever the formidable character, did not let his health deter him from his chosen path. The disease, while a part of his life, did not define him. It was but one facet of the complex man that was Blackbeard. Despite the painful sores and the progressive weakness that syphilis is known to cause, Blackbeard continued to instill fear and command respect. Despite this debilitating disease, Blackbeard still managed to become one of the most feared pirates of his time. Blackbeard, despite his personal challenges, carved out a notorious career in piracy. Born Edward Teach, he would later adopt the fearsome moniker Blackbeard, a name that still echoes in the annals of maritime history. In the early 18th century, Blackbeard began his pirate career as a crew member aboard English privateer ships during the Queen Anne's War. His natural leadership skills and audacious character soon propelled him up the ranks. By 1716, he had taken command of his own ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, a captured French slave ship. Blackbeard was a master of psychological warfare. His signature look, a thick black beard and slow match fuses burning in his hat, was enough to strike fear into the hearts of his adversaries. He led his crew to plunder numerous ships along the American eastern seaboard and the West Indies, seizing valuable cargo and leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. His ruthless tactics were legendary. He would often blockade ports, demanding ransom in exchange for sparing the town and its ships. One of his most infamous exploits was the blockade of Charleston, South Carolina, where he held the entire town hostage for nearly a week. Blackbeard's reign was short-lived but impactful. In just a few years, he managed to terrorize the Atlantic, amassing a considerable fortune and a fearsome reputation. His audacious exploits were so terrifying that they were often exaggerated in popular culture, transforming him into a mythical figure of piracy. However, Blackbeard's rule was not uncontested. Royal navies, privateers, and even fellow pirates sought to capture or eliminate him. His daring deeds and brazen disregard for authority made him a prime target. Despite the constant threats, Blackbeard remained a formidable figure until his violent end in 1718. Blackbeard's reign on the high seas was as chilling as the winds of the Atlantic. His career serves as a stark reminder of a time when pirates ruled the waves, a time of ruthless men and merciless seas. Have you ever heard of a pirate who drank rum mixed with gunpowder? Well, let me tell you about one. Meet Blackbeard, a pirate whose larger-than-life persona was as explosive as the cocktail he savored. In the golden age of piracy, Blackbeard was known for his eccentricities, one of which was his peculiar taste for a fiery concoction of rum and gunpowder. Now, this wasn't just an adventurous palate at work. This was a calculated move to instill fear and awe. Imagine a man who drinks gunpowder as casually as one would sip on a cup of tea. That's bound to get the whispers going, isn't it? This habit, while dangerous, only added to his fearsome reputation. It painted him as a man who embraced danger, a man who could quite literally stomach the risk of an explosion. This explosive cocktail, much like Blackbeard himself, was both intriguing and terrifying. Blackbeard was not just a pirate, he was a master of manipulation and propaganda. As a pirate, Blackbeard knew the value of a good reputation. But he didn't just want to be known, he wanted to be feared. He quickly realized that fear was an effective tool in his arsenal, just as potent, if not more so, than his trusty cutlass or flintlock pistol. And so Blackbeard began to cultivate a terrifying image. One of his most infamous tricks was the smoking beard. Blackbeard would weave slow-burning fuses into his thick black beard and light them during battles. These fuses would smolder and produce a thick, choking smoke, giving him an otherworldly, demonic appearance. It was a sight designed to strike terror into the hearts of his foes. The smoking beard was more than just a scare tactic. It was a carefully crafted piece of propaganda. Every time Blackbeard stepped onto a captured ship, smoke billowing around his face, the stories of his terrifying visage would spread. It's important to understand that propaganda is not just about spreading information, it's also about controlling the narrative. Blackbeard didn't just want people to know who he was, he wanted them to fear who he could be. By creating an image of a devilish, unstoppable force, he was able to control how others perceived him. He used this fear to his advantage, often causing opponents to surrender without a fight. Interestingly, Blackbeard's use of propaganda was not just limited to his personal image. He also understood the power of symbolism. His flag, a skeleton spearing a heart while toasting the devil, was a clear message to all who saw it: surrender or face certain death. It was not just his sword that made Blackbeard a force to be reckoned with, but also his cunning mind. His ability to manipulate perceptions and control narratives was a key element of his success and a testament to the power of propaganda. Even today, centuries after his death, the image of Blackbeard the pirate continues to inspire fear and awe. Behind the fearsome facade, Blackbeard had an intriguing private life, including being married 14 times. A statement as bold as the pirate himself, isn't it? Yet it's true. Edward Teach, better known as Blackbeard, was a man of many wives. His matrimonial ventures were as diverse and numerous as the ships he plundered. Now, it's important to remember that the pirate code of conduct was a universe apart from the societal norms of the time. In the world of pirates, multiple marriages weren't just commonplace, they were almost expected, a peculiar part of the pirate culture. The exact number of Blackbeard's wives is a matter of debate, but most historians agree on the figure of 14. Who were these women, you ask? Well, that's where the waters become murky. Most of them remain nameless, their identities lost to history. However, it's likely that they were women from various walks of life, from the Caribbean islands to the American colonies. Some were probably captives, won over by Blackbeard's charm, or perhaps his notoriety. Others might have been willing partners, drawn to the pirate life and the promise of adventure it brought. In stark contrast to his bloodthirsty public image, Blackbeard's private life was filled with moments of tenderness and affection. It's said that despite his many marriages, he treated each wife with respect and care, a far cry from the ruthless pirate we know. This side of Blackbeard, the caring husband, is a testament to the complex character he was. Even so, living with the most feared pirate of the time mustn't have been easy. The wives of Blackbeard likely led lives filled with uncertainty and danger. Their husband was a wanted man, always on the move, always on the run. Yet they chose to stay, to share in his complicated life, to ride the waves of chaos alongside him. Blackbeard's private life was as tumultuous and unpredictable as the seas he sailed. A pirate's life indeed. After his death, Blackbeard's severed head went on tour. This is not some ghoulish tale spun on a dark and stormy night, but a chilling chapter of history. This gruesome relic came to symbolize the ultimate fate of those who dared to defy the law and choose the path of piracy. Edward Teach, better known as Blackbeard, met a violent end at the hands of Lieutenant Robert Maynard in November of 1718. But the story didn't end there. Maynard severed Blackbeard's head and hung it from the bowsprit of his ship, a grim trophy proclaiming the downfall of the notorious pirate. This grisly souvenir then embarked on a macabre tour, displayed in various ports along the eastern seaboard as a warning to others who might be tempted to hoist the Jolly Roger. It was a stark reminder of the consequences of piracy, the embodiment of the age-old adage, crime doesn't pay. But as the head journeyed from port to port, something unexpected happened. Rather than simply serving as a deterrent, the severed head of Blackbeard began to fuel the fires of legend. Tales of his exploits grew more fantastic, his image more fearsome. The sight of his lifeless gaze seemed only to reinforce the myth of his invincibility in the minds of the superstitious. Eventually, the head's journey ended and the grisly relic disappeared from historical records. Some say it was used as the centerpiece of a drinking vessel. Others that it was buried beneath a tavern in Virginia. But wherever it ended up, the head of Blackbeard continues to capture our imaginations, a symbol of the golden age of piracy and the man who came to personify it. Even in death, Blackbeard's legend continued to grow, his head a grisly reminder of his fearsome reputation. It's a testament to the enduring allure of the pirate life, a fascination that persists even today, centuries after the last pirate ship vanished over the horizon. Blackbeard's legacy is as enduring as the tales of his gruesome end. His defiance of authority, reign of terror, and dramatic demise have made him a figure of fascination, transcending the boundaries of time and culture. The stories of his exploits have been told and retold, each iteration adding a fresh layer of myth to the man who was Edward Teach. His image has been immortalized in books, films, and even video games, a testament to the enduring allure of the pirate life. For some, he is the embodiment of freedom and rebellion, for others a symbol of lawlessness and terror. But whether he is viewed as a hero or a villain, one thing is certain: Blackbeard has left an indelible mark on history. His severed head may have disappeared from historical records, but the legend of Blackbeard lives on, a potent symbol of the golden age of piracy and the man who came to personify it. As we delve into the annals of history, we are reminded that tales of piracy are not just about treasure and adventure. They're also about power, defiance, and the human spirit. In the face of danger and death, some chose to defy the odds, to challenge authority, and to carve their own path. And in doing so, they became legends. Blackbeard was one such legend, a man whose life and death continued to captivate us centuries after he sailed his last voyage. In the next part of our series, we will explore the lives of other infamous pirates, their exploits, and their enduring legacies. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the Tabo History channel for more fascinating historical content. Before we conclude our journey through Blackbeard's life and legacy, there's another aspect worth exploring. Just as Blackbeard was drawn into the life of piracy, so too are many of us drawn into the tales of pirates. There's something inherently captivating about the spirit of adventure, the thrill of the unknown, and the allure of the high seas. But why is that exactly? As humans, we are naturally drawn to stories of adventure and exploration. We admire the courage it takes to venture into the unknown, to defy the odds, and to seek out fortune and glory. In many ways, these stories serve as a reminder of our own potential for bravery, resilience, and ingenuity. But there's also a darker side to this fascination. Pirates, after all, were criminals. They stole, they killed, and they lived outside the law. Yet, we find ourselves drawn to their stories, fascinated by their audacious exploits. Perhaps it's because in some way they represent a freedom and rebellion that many of us secretly yearn for. So, as we close this chapter on Blackbeard's life, we invite you to reflect on your own relationship with these tales of piracy. What is it about these stories that captivates you? Is it the thrill of adventure, the allure of rebellion, or something else entirely? Regardless of the reason, one thing is certain: the tales of pirates like Blackbeard continue to captivate us, to inspire us, and to remind us of the power of the human spirit. And as long as that remains true, the legacy of Blackbeard and of pirates everywhere will continue to live on. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the Taboo History channel for more fascinating historical content. Join us next time as we delve into the lives of other notorious pirates and their enduring legacies. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking out the adventure in your own life. Thanks for watching.